my intention right now is to pour my heart out, to have it be seen and heard, maybe by me, by God, by no one, by anyone, by just have it be seen and heard, period. Have it get to emote. I'm in my head right now, so if I go down on my head, down on my body, and just look at what do I feel. If I'm practicing just speaking and allowing the feels to do the speaking. I want to feel. Notice that. Wanting to feel, but not feeling. Wanting to feel is not the same as feeling. Wanting to do something and doing it are two different things. Feeling torn. Part of me feels just devastated, heartbroken about the breakup with my family and the fact that the distance between me and my family, and it doesn't matter if we live in the same city or the same house. I'm not talking about physical distance. We've been everywhere from literally across the globe to in the same house and still feeling that distance. Devastated. I feel sad, lonely. Longing, like yearning, wanting, seeking closeness, connection, and afraid to get it, afraid to connect, unable to connect, afraid to connect. I can't handle that. The very connection and closeness that I say that I want, haven't been able to handle it in the past. And so as I look in the past, there's a feeling of sadness, devastation over that fact. There's this just potential energy that's just blocked. I can almost even see this it's like a river of Shakti chi energy, just life force, truth and light and love and source energy coming up, starting here and wanting to come up and just slowly getting diverted and blocked and held and stuck and moved, and all kinds of rocks in that river and boulders in the river, so that by the time it comes up to here, it's just significantly limited from what it was, just a little bit left, and more blocks through these chakras and more blocks, and by the time it gets up to my head, it feels like what's left is just a little trickle. This little trickle of life force energy and source Shakti flow that's just making it up to my third eye and my mind. And there's this sense of hatred over that fact, the reality of that situation. There's a sense of resistance and not liking that, wanting it to be different instead of just feeling what it feels like to feel like that and just accept that. It just feels just lousy. It just feels like fucking frustrating. and like tired and like heavy. I can feel myself just up in my head, and I keep taking that awareness and just putting it back down into my body, like as low as I can get it. The feeling of wanting sucks. There's so much wanting. It's just this pattern that I've practiced my whole life. Just wanting, more and more wanting. And no matter what I have, keep wanting. That's a pattern. And I'm grateful for the pattern to a certain extent, but I'm a little bit grateful for that pattern because without that having happened for so long, I wouldn't be standing here right now where I'm at with everything that I have, which is, I have some pretty amazing things. I've got, okay, my children's mother is like the most amazing human on the planet, okay? And she's the mother of our kids, okay? Like literally like Wonder Woman, Superwoman. And she's my children's mother. Like, that cannot be erased or undone. That happened. That's a fact. That is the truth, reality. No one can take that away, even if they want to. It's like, you're a little crazy if you try, right? And that's amazing. And those 5 kids are so precious. Like, they're as precious as any kids could be. Like, 5 most precious on the planet. Like, and it's true. We're all biased about our own kids, and so I'm probably a little biased about that, but it's still true though. Like, even aside from the bias, it's actually true. I've got this like really strong, really healthy, really vibrant, really handsome body that I'm in, and some of that is because of work that I've done with it, and most of it is not even in my control or in my power and my choice, at least not consciously. And that's amazing. And the memories and experiences that I have and the wisdom that I've accumulated from the past, all these past experiences, the traveling and the crazy trips and the fun and the cool cars and toys and just all the going around the world, and cruises and all the cool things that I've done and that I've done with the mother of my children, and that I've done with some of my children, and like all that stuff is priceless. Wouldn't take back a single bit of any of the past that's happened the way it all happened perfectly. And I have so many things, and those wouldn't have happened the way they did without this desire to constantly stretch and look further and look more and grow and evolve and all that stuff. Like reach for more. And at the same time, I'm practicing releasing that seeking and that wanting and that stretching and that I'm releasing the pattern of like being led by that feeling of wanting, like being compelled by it, where it has more control over me because I'm not even aware that it's doing that thing. And like I just think that's who I am. That's what I'm releasing. And what I'm stepping into is like feeling and enjoying this sense of just deep gratitude for exactly where I am, and this knowing and this certainty that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right now, and allowing love and my just being so full of love that it's just overflowing out of me, and it just wants to express itself. And so it's just coming out of me, and it's just expressing itself through language, words, music, my actions, my tone of my voice, my appearance. It's just expressing itself through this body and mind that we call Parker. Lately I prefer to be called KP, because it's me always constantly representing myself to my intention of my purpose on the planet, as far as I understand it. And the purpose on the planet, as love, life force, God, source energy comes through me, it wants to express itself in the form of being an example of what's possible for musically gifted leaders across the world who choose to co-create together, like in our own culture, co-create together harmony across the board. And I mean that literally and figuratively. Literally coming together, creating music, allowing source energy to just flow through us, and allowing the creativity to just happen and surprise us with what comes about, helping people do that, helping myself do that, experiencing the blocks together, helping each other see the blocks and clearing those out, and then going right into playing music. And we'll have these workshops that are, you can't tell if it's a workshop or if it's a it's a transformational empowerment retreat, as well as a hip hop and rock concert with these musically gifted artists that are like woke, that are not woke like politically, but like that are awake, that are enlightened, that are on the cutting edge of our evolution as humans, understanding this quantum field and understanding that we're all just vibrations, and we just throw this boulder into the river, and whoop, whoop, whoop. You see that ripple that goes out, and these frequencies we're sending out in the tone of our voice, in our body, in our energy, in what we're feeling, and also in music, and the way we move our fingers, and the way that we play these instruments, and we're creating these unique frequencies that we're sending out into the world. That those frequencies are healing the planet, and these strongholds of these events that we hold are just putting out this healing out into the planet, and also coming in and healing ourselves in our own lives, and the harmony that we experience in our lives across the board. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like that's what I'm committed to. That's my purpose as far as I understand it. Now it's open to evolving and changing and getting more clear, or even changing direction, going in the direction. I'm even open to going exactly the opposite direction if I need to. I already did that once. I can do it again if I knew that that's what was needed and required. Like, so much growth came from being willing to allow the divorce to happen. Like, it looked like I was like going in this direction and just like stopped, turned around 180 degrees and went the exact opposite direction, right? So like, instead of me being seen and viewed as this great guy in the family, in the Bodine family or whatever, like in the world, in lots of people's minds, it's like viewed as the total enemy, the monster. And there was a lot of value in that for me, because it allowed me to like go to like the most deepest, darkest place and experience the worthlessness and the unworthiness and the sense of just self-hatred and loathing and depression and darkness and loneliness and all those amazingly wholesome feelings. They're super negative and super hard and super uncomfortable and super painful, and yet that actually is what I needed to soften, to have my heart like kind of soften and break open to allow for more to come through. And so I'm grateful for that. At the same time, at this point, now stepping forward, stepping to where we're going next, maybe I don't go and stop and do a 180-degree direction. Maybe it's not even in a plane, in a 2D plane. Maybe we now go into a completely different dimension than we were ever in before, and create a whole new future. People say, do you want your children's mother back? Do you want her back? No, I don't want her back. That's not what I want. I don't want to go back to create what we had. There will be certain aspects of what we had that will show up again in the future, in the newness, but in the new thing that we create. But no, I actually don't want to go back, and I don't want her back. Actually, what I'm committed to is, and I have been the whole time, and I still am, what I'm committed to is creating something new. They talk about this idea of, I think it's kind of a new age idea, or kind of a version of relationships that are a little more evolved, but monogamy plus, or the idea of having the primary person in my life has got to be God and myself. You could say the same thing, God, the self, they could be tied, whatever. That's who I'm committed to. That's who I'm married to forever. And with that clarity, then I can enjoy and give my presence where it's needed and where he needs me to give it, and where I feel most called. And it would be nice to have like the stability and the safety and the simplicity of having a primary partner, while also being able to give that primary partner the freedom to be able to say, look, if there's something that you want to experience with anybody that you want to experience it with, and it's like maybe just a fleshy curiosity or desire, like I've experienced those, I've had those before. I know what it's like to hold that in and not express it, and not be able to talk about it, and instead just feel shame about it, in which case it just ends up festering and growing and seeping out the cracks in some way or another, right? And so rather than doing that, I'm grateful I learned from all that, even though I'm sorry for all the pain that stimulated in people when I did that. But in this newness of what I intend on creating and what I am committed to creating going forward, it's like this relationship where there's the transparency and the freedom to be able to talk about those things and give each other the space to have the privacy to experience what we need to, knowing that those experiences are going to make us an even more expanded version of ourselves, so that we can come together, and so that our relationship is moving forward. Those other relationships we enjoy with other people, they don't have to take us apart. They could actually move us forward. And so I don't know what we would call it, or what I would, not we, but I don't know what I would call it. I don't know if it needs to have a label on it. I don't know. I'm open to all kinds of things with it, but and then it could change from there, the only constant in this universe is change. Evolution, change. People will be like mad at me and say, Parker, you changed, I don't want to be your friend. I'm like, hey, guess what? You could turn your back on me, but I'm not turning my back on you. On you, I'll just maybe press pause for a little bit and allow us to have some space. But like, I believe that changing and evolving is part of the purpose of life. So just feel free to come back when you're ready, and I might still have the pause button on you, or I might take it off of you. But I'm thinking of the guy who was the best man at my wedding, Colby Anderson. Like, that's kind of my stance towards him. It's like, you could go and take space for as long as you need to, as long as you want to, and I'll press pause on us, and you can come back later. Our paths will cross again. The one that I need is God. The one that I need is the self. The one that I need is my commitment to expanding consciousness and being who I need to be on the planet, for my own journey and my own evolution, and also giving other people the respect to have their journey and the acceptance to be on their journey as well. And I'm grateful for if and when our paths do cross, you know, and in this life or the next. And so to just be able to get this off my chest and just be able to put words to this maybe in a little bit newer of a way than I had before feels really, really good. I'm just so grateful. So grateful to just be me, and so grateful for who I am. I'm so grateful for this life that I have. Like, I'm only 37 right now. Like, I'm not even to the halfway, I'm not even to halftime yet in the game. And I could be in the fourth quarter right now, because no one knows that, you know, this body's gonna pass away next week. No one knows, right? No, it's not in our control. And so, but, you know, looking at a typical lifeline, I'm not even at the halfway point right now, and I've already experienced so much, you know, happiness, and I am experiencing more and more just pure joy and self-love. And then that's showing up in all these beautiful, fun, juicy, wild, adventurous relationships that are just and opportunities that are presenting themselves. And I just it's like so much that, yeah, it's almost more than I can handle. And so without even being aware of it, I pinch it off, or I close it off. I'm like, whoa, that's too much joy. That's too much fun. That's too much happiness. I don't think I can take that much. Like, you know, my coach Lion said, hey, a good friend will help you feel better. A wise friend will help you feel more. I don't want to feel better. I don't want to feel better anymore. What I'm committed to is feeling more. Everything. Feeling it all deeply, right in my body. Integrating my feminine in. That's why I've been going to this ecstatic dance and just dancing and moving the energy and tapping into and connecting to my emotion. That's the work that I'm so glad that I found out about a couple years ago, and I'm so grateful I've been committed to it. You know, and I'm gonna I'm committed to staying on this path and doing this work forever and ever. And I love it. So with that, I'm gonna turn off this video, but looking forward to connecting with anyone who this resonates with. And if I do end up posting this publicly, I don't know, we'll see.